Yeah, good evening all. So the last class just I was briefing you about Python, right? Yes. Why Python? It's a general purpose programming, multiple programming language features you see in that. It's a high level language, easily understandable, portable, and machine independent. And interpreted language, line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. User friendly programming language. It's a user friendly programming. So I was discussing this right in the last class. Two types of languages, low level language and high level languages. Low level languages and high level languages. Low level language example like assembly level language. They are not human understandable. They are not portable and they are machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating system. But high level languages like Python, they are human understandable, portable, and machine independent, can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. So Python has got multiple programming features like procedural oriented programming like C language, object oriented programming features like C++, Java, scripting features like shell script, and modular programming like Modular 3. 89,300 inbuilt models Python is providing for different domains. Whatever domain you are from, Python is providing a module, right? So it's Python script, shell script, right? Just like shell script, we can write many Python scripts. Yes. And if we go back like 10 to 15 years, Java was mostly used, but currently if you see Python is the number one ranked programming with diversified number of applications creations. What are the various applications we can create today by using Python, right? Web applications. So using the framework like Django, at rapid speed, you can develop web applications using and for automation applications using technologies like data science, IoT, DevOps, like Python is used for big data environment, for GUI or animations, for scientific applications, we have got CP module. For numerical analysis, we have got NumPy module. For game development, we have got Pygame, PyCore, and PySoy. For scheduling tasks, for testing or test cases, for software developers make use of Python as a support language for business application, for database applications, for networking applications, for web scrapping data from different websites, for audio and video applications, right? Many Python is used for creation of audio and video applications like Tim Player, C Player, some examples. For embedded application, the most famous embedded application, Raspberry Pi, using Python, right? CAD applications for 3D CAD applications, for computer vision, for face detection, object detection, and color detection, right? And for, yes, of data analysis, for robotics, and for desktop applications, right? Yes. Yes. And who are using Python today? Top most applications are that companies using Python, Google using Python, YouTube using Python, Yahoo, Instagram built using Python, Uber using Python for its Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python, Quora, Reddit, Pinterest, yes, Dropbox, Netflix, Netflix using Python for its security, automation, subscription related things, right? Yes. MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python. iRobot for military and commercial operations. BitTorrent using Python, right? And for hardware testing purpose, companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this, they use Python for hardware testing purpose, right? And reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? What are the reasons which makes Python super popular? Very less coding we see in Python, not even one-fourth coding as compared with other programming languages. Simple syntaxes looks like normal English statements. That's got multiple programming features like object-oriented, procedural-oriented, scripting, and modular programming features, right? Interactive mode, statement by statement, we can interact with Python. Wide varieties of application. Just now I discussed, right? Different varieties of applications we can create using Python. Many built-in modules. 89,300 inbuilt modules we have got, right? For various environment, right? Yes. Right. Next. So before we go with this Python technicals, today I'll be discussing with the Python basics, right? So before that, one second. You need to know something about the Python Software Foundation, right? PSF, Python Software Foundation, PSF. So it is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization. Before I go with the installations, execution modes, right? I need to discuss something about PSF and Python versions. It's a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year. It was launched in the year 2001. PSF was launched in the year 2001. The main objective of this Python Software Foundation to foster the development, right? To foster the development of Python from version to version, right? Yes. And in the year 2005, Python Software Foundation received Computer World Horizon Award as the cutting edge technology. The president for this Python Software Foundation, the president, nothing that the same personality who introduced Python, right? The same personality is the president for this, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum. Headquarters. Where are the headquarters of this? Delaware. Delaware, US. Official website for Python. Official website. Python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download and from where we can install Python, right? Now, before we go with the installation, like Python versions, you need to know something about the Python versions. So Python 1.x, first one version was released in the year 1989. Yes. Python 2.x. 2.x means 2.1. The first two version was released in the year 2000. Python 3.x version. The version what we are using currently. The version what we are using currently is the 3 version. It was introduced in the year 2008. Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python, right? Python 3.12. Python 3.12 is the latest version. Stable version of Python. Stable version, right? Stable version of Python, Python 3.11. Python 3.11. Stable version is nothing but mostly used version. Mostly used version. Yes. So the Python versions, right. And observe this. Python installation. Hmm. So before I go with the installation, right? Yes. I'll go to the settings, apps. Python 3.12 is there, right? I'll just uninstall this. So I'll just show you from the scratch, right, how to download and how to install Python. Hardly it takes 2 minutes to install Python. Yes, at the end of the session, I'll just brief you about it, raw, about the course content and the duration, everything. I'll brief you at the end of the session. Right. So uninstallation in progress. So Python provides different softwares for different environments. For Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux. For Linux, no need of any installation. For Linux, no need of any installation. By default, whenever you install Linux, by default, Python also comes along with it, right? Python also gets installed. So no need of any special installation in Linux operating system. So whenever you install it, you get Python also within it. But in the Windows or in Mac OS, we need to separately download and install it. Okay. See, in Windows, again, Python is providing two softwares. In Python is providing two softwares. One for 32-bit and one for 64-bit. For Windows, Python is providing two softwares, I said. One is for 32-bit OS, one is for 64-bit OS. Okay. Uninstallation is successful. Close it. How will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit, right? So right click on this, go to the file explorer, go to this file explorer in this PC, right click this PC and say properties. System type 64-bit operating system. What is it? 64-bit operating system. If it is showing 32-bit, you are supposed to download. You are supposed to download 32-bit. As this is being 64 here, you are supposed to download 64-bit operating system. So now just I'll download Python, downloading Python now. Yes. So what is the official website for Python? What is the official website for Python? Python.org. Just go to this Chrome. Yes, open your Chrome browser and just Python www.python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download and from where we can install. Go to these downloads folders. Go to these downloads. All releases. Click all releases. Once after clicking it, scroll down to this bottom of the page. Don't go for active Python releases. Looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release, right? Yes. So 3.12.2. 3.12.2 is the version, right? Click on this February 6, 2024. It was released. Almost like 2 months ago, it was released. Click on this Python 3.12.2. Okay, 3.12.2. Scroll down, right? Yes. Here you can see Python Windows installer 64-bit and Windows installer 32-bit. So, and here for Mac OS 64-bit universal installer. So that's got for Linux, no need of any installation. By default, you get whatever Linux flavor you use, Red Hot Linux, Ascent OS, or Ubuntu. Yes. So it is a 64-bit. I'll just click on this Windows installer 64-bit. Windows installer 64-bit. Click on this. Yes. Windows installer 64-bit. Download started, right? It's downloading. Python 3.12.2. Yes. It is 25.4 MB of size. 25.4 MB of size, right? Yes. Just click it or go to the downloads folder and click on this. A window is going to get open in this way. So don't immediately go for installation. Don't immediately go for installation. You can see at the bottom, add Python to path. Select it. Add Python to path. Yes, it is adding Python to path variable of OS. Now go for custom. No need to set your path manually here. Whenever you select it, no need to set the path for Python manually. Automatically it gets added. Now go for customize installation. Nothing to select, everything are pre-selected. Documentation, pip, all these are selected. Say next. Here also nothing to select, but see here installation location where it is getting installed. Where it is getting installed, right? Yes. In C, in users, in Dell, app data, local programs, Python 3.12, right? Yes. See the path, right? So it is getting installed somewhere in some subdirectories. In users, Dell, app data, local programs, Python. So just place your mouse before this slash Python 3.12. Yes, and remove all this big path. Remove all this big path. Just say C slash Python 3.12. So within the C drive, within this Python 3.12 folder, yes, install it. Just in the C drive, yes. Within this Python 3.12 folder, 3.12 means 3.12 means in C drive, Python 3.12 folder is going to get created automatically. Within that folder, this Python is going to get installed, right? Yes. Just say install. Okay. So hardly takes 30 seconds to install Python, right? Hardly takes 30 seconds. Once it got installed, let us check whether it is properly installed or not, right? Yes. Almost done with the installation. Yes, setup was successful. Just to close it. Now, just at the bottom in the search panel, type CMD, type CMD and say enter for going into the command prompt. And just type Python here. Just type Python. and say enter. The Python version has to be displayed and the Python interpreter, right? This three arrow symbol, it shows. Right. Any valid Python statements you can type and check, right? Any valid Python statements. 4 plus 2, you're asking. Python supports interactive mode. You can easily interact with Python statement by statement. It gives output. X value is 10, Y is 4. What is X? What is Y? X plus Y, X minus Y, X into Y, X into 2, X into 2. X to this is the power symbol in Python, 10 square, 100. Yes, any valid Python statements, X equal to hello, X into 2. In this way, anything, right? Yes. Quit, Quit, quit. Okay, this. Okay, fine. Now, successfully install it is working, right? Python is working fine. Anyone from Linux environment, if you are using the older version of Linux, the older version of Python you will be seeing. If you want the latest version of Python to be installed in your Linux machine, right? Just type this command, right? So everything you do from the root user, everything you are going to do from the root, right? So sudo sudo apt-get install Python 3.12. So this command is going Python 3.12. This command is going to install. Yes. Do we have option to uninstall Python older version? Okay. Sudo apt-get install Python 3.12. This command is going to install the latest version of Python in your Linux machine, right? So you can install multiple versions of Python in your system, right? In my system, you can check. I got 3.8, 3.9, 3.10, 3.11, 3.12, nearly 5 versions you can see in my system, right? Check this. Python 3.8 is available. Just someone was asking in that, right? In the chart. Yes. Uh, Kant, Bogi ready, right? Yes, you can install this latest. Any number of versions of Python can be installed. Means versions 3 point. Yes. Yeah, 3
Yes,
point.
when I open in CMD prompt, right, so I can see 3.8 version, but I installed 3.12 as you suggested. How can we get that latest version?
Yeah, 3.8, 3.9, 3.10, 3.11, 3.12. See, before installing, did you check this? I said you need to check that box before you go with the installation. You need to select that
Yes,
part. Did you select it?
yes, I selected. Yes,
Adding Python to path.
yes,
So
I selected it. I selected save path C as you mentioned.
not C, right? See, before going with the installation, add Python to path. Add Python to path. There'll be one checkbox will be there. Add Python to path means there'll be a checkbox. The checkbox you need to select it before you go with the installation.
Yes, I have selected it before installation.
Okay, yes. So okay, yes, there is a question asked, right? Okay, Shashi, right? There are so many video trainings available outside market, and what extra benefit we get here if we choose this training. You can check this. You can check this course content with any other training sites. You can check, right, the depth of this training. You can see whether at least 60% of the syllabus is covered or not in that. You can check. We are discussing many models related to different environments, right? Some models related to data science, some models related to databases, some models related to big data, some models related to graphics, some related to operating system, some related to data and time, and uh, and how to create our own modules. So it's not like 45 hours course. It is like 70 to 80 hours it takes, right? And total full stack, it's totally 130 hours course, right? So many videos, you can see that videos, it will be of 30 minutes, 35 minutes, right? Yes, 1 second. About this training levels, right? At the end of the session, I'll discuss. At the end of the session, I'll discuss about the training levels, right? Yes. And okay, see here, I have got multiple versions of Python in my system. Yes, Python 3.8, 3.9, 3.10, 3.11, 3.12. But which version of Python will it show it if I open the command prompt means? Which one I have installed, the very latest? See this. I have uninstalled, right? Before this, I have uninstalled Python. Now I have installed it. Now check it. If I say Python, what version of Python is 3.12.2? But whenever I uninstall, it shows like 3.11 or 3.10 or 3.8 it has to show. But when I installed it, right, by default, the latest installed. So whenever you are saying add path to Python means this 3.12, just, okay, fine. Okay. If you forget to select that option before you install, right, you need to set it manually. You need to set it manually, right? How to set that path manually? Setting the path manually. So for example, for some of you, if you have forgot to select that option, add path to, how can you set it manually means? So if you see, if you go to the command prompt, if you type Python, for some of you, this Python won't be recognized. It won't show any version. It won't display the version. Python is not recognized, will say. Otherwise, in such cases, setting the path manually, how you can set it manually means just type env, just type env in the search. You will get edit the system environment variables. Edit the system environment. So before that, where your Python is available in your system, check where your Python is available in your system in Python. So here Python 312 folder, right? Can you see Python 312 folder available here? Within this Python 312 folder, like scripts is available, right? Within the scripts, you can see this, right? So just click on this address bar for those people who forgot to select that option. I'm saying, right? Otherwise, this all not required. Copy it. See Python 312 scripts folder. Copy it. And right click on your PC. Right click on your PC. How to set the path manually? So if you forgot to select that option while installing, you need to follow this. Right click on your PC. Advanced system settings. Advanced system settings. Go to environment variables. Within this environment variables, right? Yes. Within this, and select path here. Select path here. In user variable, select the path and say edit. Here you can see this Python 3.12 available. C/Python 3.12 available, right? 3.11 available. 3.8. Say new. Whenever you click new, you will get here and you paste it here. Control V. Paste the path. See Python through it /scripts. The same thing. You paste it here. In this way, you paste it and say okay, okay. Then it gets recognized. Instead of doing all this, right? While installation only, just select that. Before starting with the installation, there will be a small checkbox. Add my path, add Python to path. That if you select, by default, you will get it. If you have forgot to select, it will take the older version path. Okay, fine. So Python is successfully installed in my system. It is working fine, right? So just takes 30 seconds. It takes less than 1 minute to install Python, right? No need to do all these steps. Right? Now, Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Python execution modes. See, so in this course, right, concentration will be how to build the code, how to, for any task provided, how you can build the code, right? And the sessions will be interactive sessions. Now, see, in the from tomorrow sessions, you see for each and every statement I type, you people will be responding with what is the expected output, right? Interactive sessions, hands-on for this applications creations. You'll be developing the applications parallelly along with me. So you will come to know what the statement by statement output you are going to know. Not write the entire code and getting the output is that is different. Statement wise, for every statement, what is the output you are going to get? What output you are going to get also you should know as a developer, as a Python developer. You need to know what output you are going to get with applying which functionalities. There are 89,300 inbuilt models available, right? Yes. Yeah, Python execution modes, two modes of execution, right? Two modes of execution. First is interactive mode. Just now I discussed, right, about the interactive mode. Interactive mode, just now, like, and batch mode. Two modes of execution, interactive mode and batch mode. Hmm. Interactive mode, here we directly type. Here we directly type. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. On the interpreter, and the user can easily interact, and the user can easily interact with. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Statement by statement. We are directly typing the Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response as the advantage here of this interactive mode. The advantage of this interactive mode. Yes. The advantage of interactive mode is to test the function. If you doesn't know about any Python functionalities, you can type it and check what output it is going to provide. right? To test the functionalities of Python, to test the functionalities of Python, and to learn Python, and to learn for learning Python as a beginners, this interactive mode works better. Statement by statement, it gives the response. And to learn Python. And uh, but if you want to develop applications using Python, developing applications using Python, this batch mode works better. Batch mode is going to work better. We cannot, this interactive mode is never used for developing applications. We need to go for batch mode. Here we write, a set of statements within the editors or IDEs, and save it by using, and save it by using .py extension. Save it by using .py extension and later submitting to Python. Right? Yes. We write set of statements within the editor's ID, save it by using .py extension and later submitting to Python. What are the various editors? What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? Yes, within the, okay. What are the various editors within this Windows environment? Within the Windows environment, we use Notepad, Edit Plus, Notepad, and we use Edit Plus. Within the Windows environment, where you write the Python code within the Notepad or within the Edit Plus, and create a .py file. Using Notepad or Edit Plus, we'll create a .py file and later submit it to Python. VI and Nano editors. VI and Nano editors. These two editors, VI and Nano, for Linux environment. These two are used for Linux environment. Using Linux, right? We can using VI or Nano. Yes. Writing this Python code and creating a .py file within the Linux environment, we use VI and Nano. This for Windows. And what are the various IDs? In real time, we use IDs, right? Various IDs. Various IDs, right? Yes. Integrated development environment. Integrated development environment. Various IDs, right? Yes. Like PyCharm, PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, VS Code. So previously, someone was asking a query, right? What is the difference you see in different other trainings and here? In other trainings, they will show you only in PyCharm IDE. So in our course, I'll be showing 4 to 5 IDs: PyCharm, Jupyter, VS Code, Spider, Eclipse. So in multiple IDs, I'm going to show you, right? Because you may ask, why these many IDs for Python? Why not 1 or 2? Python is used for different environments. Different environments use different IDs. different environments. Like for example, data science. We're using Python for data science, right? Yes. Jupyter Notebook is mostly preferred. Spider is preferred. Yes. And for big data also, Spider is mostly used. By Jupyter Notebook is preferred. For typical web applications, PyCharm is preferred and VS Code is preferred. Among all these, PyCharm is the mostly used one. PyCharm is the mostly used IDE, right? So apart from this PyCharm, I'll show you like how to download and how to install and how to run the code in different other IDEs. So, yes, these are the various IDEs, right? Yes. One, developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application, right? Within a editor, within a editor, within editor, right? Yes. Example like Notepad, within the Notepad. Open Notepad, open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. As of now, up to now, we didn't discuss anything about Python fundamentals, right? Just Python statements. So just I'll take two values and I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operation. So, so just I'll take 5-10 minutes more. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. X as 10, Y as 20. I'm just taking two values and I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations. X plus Y, X plus Y, X minus Y, X into Y, and X by, just want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations. So just I'll copy this to a separate notepad and I'll just create a .py file. Just open notepad, yes. And just say file, save. Just I'm creating a separate folder for this batch. Yes. In the C drive, a new folder, Python 10 p.m. batch. Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Yes. Yes, I've created a folder, Python 10, within that. Yes. Sample1.py. I'm saving it as sample1.py. Just how you are saving, right? Save as sample1.py. Sample1.py. Now submit this file. Now submit this file to Python as. How you are going to submit this file to Python? Just in the bottom search panel, type cmd, say enter, just say enter and go to this command prompt. Within this, type a Python and don't say enter. If you say enter, it will go to interactive mode. and just specify the file path where it is available within the C drive. Yes, within this Python 10 p.m. batch. Within this Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Within that sample1 dot py, where this file is dot py file is available, in which folder, in which drive. Give the entire path submitting to Python. That's it. Enter. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. So just give Python and specify, right? Yes. Okay. But here, what is your observation? But here, we are writing the code. We are writing the code at one place. Where we are writing? Within the notepad. And executing at the other place. Executing at the other place where you are executing within the command prompt. But to write and execute at the same place, to write and execute at the same place, to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE. We have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment. Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? Yes. Which comes along with Python installation. Which comes along with Python installation, using which so we have ideally which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. So how to open this IDLE, right? Directly in the search, in the bottom search, type IDLE. By default, you can see this Python 3.12. You can see ideally for all 3.9, 3.10, 3.11, 3.12. Select 3.12, right? Yes. Hmm. Select 3.12, right? You can get this Python, see, Python 3.12. This is what the Python shell, Python ideally. Generally, you will work with interactive mode here, right? You'll work with interactive mode. 3 plus 4, any valid Python statements. But I want to work with batch mode. File, new file. Just write your code. X as 10, Y as 5, print X plus Y, print X minus Y, print X into Y, print X by Y, right? Yes. So you can write the code here itself. We can execute the code here itself. Writing here run option is there. We can run it here itself. So save it first. File, save. So save it in this. Just now I created a folder, right? Python 10 p.m. batch. Yes. Sample, any name. dot py extension, right? And here you have written the code and run module. You can execute here itself. 10 plus 5, 10 minus 5, 10 into 5, 10 by. So write the code here itself and run the code here itself. Run module, right? So where you can see this ideally, yes. You can also see this, either you can type in the search here, IDLE, you can get that. Otherwise, go to your installed programs, all your installed apps, check it in the P. Python 3.12. The first thing what we see here is IDLE. Click it. Yes, this IDLE gets opened. Here you won't see the run option. Whenever you say file, new file, here you can see the run option. Write the code here, save your code and run the code. Okay, fine. So understood, right? Yes, this is so as part of today. Yes, we discussed about Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes, various editors IDs, and developing the first Python application within an editor. Later, I'll show you an ID, how to download, how to install step by step, and how to run the code on this IDEs, right? So just see this course content, right? What I'm going to discuss as part of this. Yeah. See the entire course content of this Python. See that Python basics, why Python is free applications, features, advantages, versions, Python operations, modes, interactive mode, batch mode, data types, constants, variables, comments, input, output, conversions, escape sequences, strings, operators in Python, different types of operators, IDEs, different IDEs in Python like Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, this. And flow control statements, looping statements, strings in Python, collections in Python, Python lists, Python tuples, Python sets, dictionaries, functions, in brief, modules in Python, packages in Python, exception handling in Python, file handling, object-oriented programming concepts in brief, regular expressions, different modules, database connectivity, installation of one database, working with different database operations, Python, date and time, OS module, advanced concepts, iterator, generator, closer, decorator, web scraping, working with CSV, XML, JSON, graphical programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, introduction to data science, Python pandas module, Python NumPy module, Python matplotlib module. This is 30 topics for Python core and Python advanced. You can check this. And people who go for Python full stack, right? Python full stack, entire Python package, they'll be given a framework of Python, Django framework, web frameworks, Django installation, Django project architecture, Django application creations, Django views, Django templates, admin, models, right? Advanced concepts, all this, right? And UI technologies, will be given knowledge on UI technologies also, HTML in brief, CSS in brief, and JavaScript in brief, and also knowledge on MySQL database, right? So this is what of the entire Python package. Just check this, right? Just 1 minute time. Uh, Python, Python, right? Core advanced Python core, Python advanced and application oriented models. Nearly 70 hours will be spending on this. It's not like 45 hours course, 2 months duration, and it's an offer batch. Just 5,000 is the fee structure. Apart from this, people who wants to go for full stack. So UI technologies also will be discussed. In brief, not an overview, like HTML in brief, CSS cascading style sheets, JavaScript in brief, right? In a part of Bootstrap. And apart from this, you will be given knowledge on web framework of Python, Django framework. In Django framework, 15 to 20 applications you will be creating parallelly along with me hands-on, right? Yes. Plus REST API plus project. For all this, it takes, for all these UI technologies, Django REST API project, it takes 60 hours, 2 months. And for this, the fee structure is 7,000 separate for this. And totally 70 plus 60, 130 hours, 4 months, 2 plus 2, 4 months. And if you give 5K, 12,000 is the course fee. And if you want to take, if you are taking the entire package at a time with a single payment, that's a 10,000 is the fee for this. You're taking separately Python and this 5 plus 7, right? Okay, yes. Yes. So we have got different frameworks for Python. Python has got different frameworks like Django framework, Flask framework, Pyramid framework, Bottle framework, Turbo Gear framework. From all this, right, Django is the mostly used framework. Mostly used framework is Django framework. Okay. Mostly used framework, currently mostly used, which has got very less coding involved. It has got its own database like SQLite 3. It has got its own application server. It has got many flexible features. Okay, fine. Observe here. Yes. Uh, so this is the mostly used. And also I'll give some knowledge on this Flask also, right? So Django is mostly used. I'll also give some applications on Flask. Okay. And what is the offerings from our side, right? You will be getting the session video daily, on daily, you will be getting the session video, soft copy of the notes, and the assignments and tasks to work with. Just getting the output is not the criteria. Writing your own code, building your own code, right? Yes. Assignments and tasks will be provided, right? Yes. And apart from this, a WhatsApp group will be created for technical discussions, right? This one. And apart from that, right? And I also deal with the data engineering, right? Data engineering, big data, right? Yes. I also deal with big data analytics. So there are separate batches available for this big data analytics, right? Which covers total Hadoop and total PySpark, Spark with Python implementation, and Linux and Python. And this 2 months of this Python course will be available in this package. In this package, you will also get the Python 2 months course. This package fees is 15,000, which consists of these 4 courses: Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, and Python. In brief, this will weekend batches, Hadoop, PySpark, and Linux. We on Saturday and Sunday you will be having classes. Saturday and Sunday totally will be having like 5 hours on this. 2 to 2.5 hours on Saturday, 2 to 2.5 hours on Sunday. So this Saturday at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, there is a demo for this big data analytics. So you can attend Python, any of my Python batch, right? Means either this 9 p.m. batch, that is 10 p.m. batch, whatever you're attending, that you can attend right upon. And if you have got enrolled for this big data analytics, you can attend in the weekends, attending this, and other weekdays you are going to attend this Python, right? So this is what the structure. Okay. And people, if you're unable to spare 4 months, right? Like 130 hours. So in the weekdays, you will go Monday to Friday with Python. Saturday and Sunday mornings, you'll have Django or web development classes, which you can go parallelly Python and Django, because when Python is going here, UI technologies will be discussed. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which doesn't require any Python knowledge, right? So where you will discuss, we'll be discussing Python and UI technologies parallelly. By the time Python core completes, the Django introduction will be started, right? Where you can go parallel. But any other queries? Tomorrow also you can attend the session, same time tomorrow at 10 p.m. using the same link, right? But from day after tomorrow, the link is going to change. You are supposed to get enrolled for getting the new link, right, to your mail IDs. And the timings, let me make it clear about the timings of this batch once again. Yesterday I discussed. Actually, for the first 1 week, it will be at 10 p.m. I said. After 1 week, it will start at 9 p.m. It will be 9 to 10, right? First 1 week, it will be at 10 p.m. Later, after 1 week, it starts at 9 to 10, right? Yes. You can see in the chart, right? The payment details procedure is given in the chart. And also the contact details of the online team is provided in the Zoom chart. You can see a big message is given in the chart, right? Yes, the payment details procedure is provided. And also the course content is given. And demo we yesterday, if anyone have not attended yesterday introductory session, you can see that video, demo video also, that link is given, right? Yes. 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 Any other queries from your side, anyone? Right. So, and I said, right, for Django framework, this one, Django applications creations, interactive web applications creations, I said 15 to 20 applications you'll be developing along with me parallelly. You can see any of the Django batch. So Django apps, if you observe here, Django apps one, see this my project one, my project two, my project three, nearly 15 to 20 applications. If you take not only this, any batch, Django apps two, right? More than 15, more than 20, it will be there, right? Yes. Any other queries, right? Anyone? How to enroll for
Hey
Python?
Vijay,
How
Srikanth
to,
here.
yes, one second. Rahul Bachao, right? How to enroll for Python programming? You can see in the chart, a big message is given about the payment process. And also you'll be getting a mail by tomorrow about that payment process, other things. Right? That otherwise you can see the contact details of the online this office team, right? You can contact them, right? Yes. Yeah, someone was asking a query, right? Yes. And from tomorrow you can see the sessions will be interactive, because as they were the demo sessions, I was speaking and performing the installation process. So whether your answers are correct or wrong, you people will be keep on responding, right? Yes. Yeah.
Hey
Any
Vijay, what I got to know from DURGASOFT management, right? So that is like training time will be like from 10 p.m. onwards. That I got to know from the management. But my work timings will be like 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST.
Yes, for
okay.
me also same.
So 1 second. So it is clearly said before you go with the payment process, right? Before you go with the payment process, it is clearly intimating, right? Before, after doing, not after your payments, right? So before the payment, make it clear about the timing of this batch. So for first 1 week, it will be at 10 p.m. Later, it will be at, it starts at 9 o'clock, right? So yes, fine. Okay. Any other queries, right? Any other queries? Just go, just make yourself free with that timings, right? Yes. And any other, right? Any other? Fine. So if I'm done with your queries, if there are no other queries, then I'll sign off for now. We meet you tomorrow, same time at 10 o'clock, using the same link to see more on this one.
Any real-time project will be means we are doing.
So I said 15 to 20 applications will be developing, and also one project will be discussed as well.
For Hadoop and Big Data batch.
Hadoop and Big Data also one project will be. Yes. Yes. Which laptop required for coding, like with the RAM, SSD? Let's try. See, Rahul Bachao, right? Python is not a very huge, just 20 MB of size. Python can be installed in any, but you need to have, okay, uh, in any laptop it gets installed. No need. Whether your system is a very old system also, it supports, right? Even Python can be installed in your smartphones also, and you can type your code and execute the code in your smartphones also, right? I'll just say you in the tomorrow session about those. No, there is no prerequisites for requirements, right? Laptop requirements. Python can be installed in any system, right? Yes. in Linux, in Mac OS, in Windows, in your smartphones, anywhere. And people, even if you want to, and there is in execute your Python, it's in your Anaconda distributions. I'll also discuss about Anaconda distribution, Jupyter, Spider, all these IDs, etc. Right? So yes, I'm stopping for now. Meet you tomorrow at same time at 10 o'clock. More on this.